Mauritania, Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea-Conakry, now known as MSGBC, is a region representing a compelling opportunity for investors due to its vast untapped resources. It has truly become an energy hotspot for investors, and our panel will be exploring how governments in the region are actively promoting policies that will attract foreign direct investments and help accelerate final investment decisions. Let me begin by welcoming our first panelist, Chief Executive Officer of Segoka, Segeko SA of the AGL Group, CD Ahmed Abeidna. You're welcome to your seats in the town hall, please. Give him a round of applause as he takes his seat. All right. Partner Forvis Mazars is also here. Let's welcome Ibra Ndieme Ndiaye. You're welcome. Director General of SONAP, Dr. Lassine Conde. You're welcome to your seat on the panel. EVP Commercial, Gola LNG, Anthony Baker is here on the panel. Anthony Baker, I beg your pardon. Please take your seats in the town hall. You're welcome. Please go ahead and give them a round of applause. Senior Advisor Upstream, Ministry of Petroleum, the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, is here in the town hall. Mustafa Bashir, you are welcome. Papa Sambaba, Director of Hydrocarbons, Ministry of Energy and Mines of the Senegal, you're welcome to the seat on the panel. Thank you. And now we have the Vice President, Early Engagement Gas of Technip Energies. Let's welcome Dominique Goodell. You're welcome to your seats on the panel. Permanent Secretary of the Government of the Gambia, Lamine Camara. You're welcome to your seats in the town hall. Thank you. Every community town hall in Africa must have one who would drive the conversation. And our town hall moderator for this afternoon, I'll pass it on to you. Hold on, moderator. Oh, okay. I thought he's not here before. Chief Executive Officer of Petrosen, Tieno Sedo Lee. Mr. Lee, you're welcome. Soulèye. And to you, our town hall moderator. It's over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this session on investment opportunities in the MSGBC region. My name is Ibra, partner at Forvis Mazars, and I'm really honored to facilitate this distinguished panel session. It's my pleasure to be here in this wonderful city of Cape Town with African leaders, investors, and our guest speakers that have demonstrated leadership, commitment, and dedication for a collaborative and common development of the energy sector in Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Conakry, and Guinea-Bissau. So as many of you know, the MSGBC region has garnered significant global attention for its vast untapped energy opportunities and resources. And recent discoveries, particularly in the oil and gas reserves, are shaping this region's future. And at the same time, governments are focusing on renewable energy as part of their broader energy strategies and development. And I would start my first question with Papa Sambaba, who is the Director of Hydrocarbon Ministry of Energy, Oil and Mines, Republic of Senegal. Papa Samba, Senegal is an emerging key player in the MSGBC basin, and with the projects like GTA, Sangoma, we have seen recently the government presenting what they have called Vision Senegal 2050. What measures and strategies is your government implementing to ensure that the country capitalize on these resources while balancing local economic environment and your development goals.
Thank you very much, Ibra, and thank you to the organizer for this opportunity, really to share and to engage with the African energy shareholders. So we have here a lot of government, friends, also partners, and it is great to have such a great event here in Cape Town. Coming back to your question, and he bring us to this regional aspect of MSGBC, where Senegal is a part of such a region. Yes, Senegal made world-class oil and gas discoveries about 10 years ago. The first one was Sangomar, and hopefully we arrived to the first oil last June. What is a great milestone for the country. We are up to start also the share project with our brothers Mauritania in a couple of weeks. But all this come in a more global context. That means the Senegalese aim to bring and supply affordable, accessible, and also sustainable energy to its to its population. And this is really the objectives that are being foreseen by the Senegalese government since years, and that is confirmed with the new vision, Senegal 2015 and 2050, that really aim to back on those resources, both the oil and gas resources, but also the renewable resources on which the Senegal is sitting in order to achieve such an economic and development goal. So this comes with a specific objective. On the oil and gas sector, the objective will be to develop a local gas market based on GTA, based on YT, Yakateranga, and with such a gas market for electricity with the gas to power, we can develop more, but also with the overall value chain in order to develop industries with how say affordable energy. We can really take profit in order to valorize better our other natural resources, be it mine minerals, be it also others how to say phosphate that we can use to produce fertilizer. And in the renewable energy, we are 40% objective in order to by 2030 that we aim to achieve thanks to overall partnership that we had in the JP. So a lot of objectives to be gained during this period.
Thank you, Papa Samba. Too much things to share with us regarding the Senegal vision for 2050. Use the local gas to develop local industries is one of the key points I've noted. Mustafa, you the technical advisor of the Minister of Energy, Republic of Mauritania, and Mauritania is known for its large scale of energy projects. We have seen the GTA project. We will come back on that one later. But could you share insights into Mauritania's vision for expanding gas exports and the role of the renewable energies that those energy can play in your energy strategy in Mauritania?
Thank you, Ibra. Thank you for giving me the floor to share Mauritania vision on how to develop, to monetize the gas resources, and to use the gas as a catalyst to create industry, local industry, grant access to power to the population, and also contribute to the effort of producing low carbon energy to the market. So as you know, Mauritania gas resources are approximately 80 TCF of good quality, of good gas quality with low carbon intensity. We have the GTA project that we shared with our brother in Senegal, but we have also another field called Birala, which is bigger, and that is in the center of our strategy to achieve these objective. But if you look at Mauritania assets, we have, of course, these huge gas resources, but we have also this huge potential of renewable. So we are one of the rare country in the world where you can have sun and wind in the same time. So in terms of solar, we are talking about 200 to 200, 2000 to 200, 2030, sorry, kilowatt hour per square meter per year of potential from the solar. And we have also wind speed that can reach up to 10 meters per second in the coastal area. And we have also these mining potential. Mauritania is a mining country first, and building on these three elements, which are the gas, the mining sector, and the renewable, we set up an integrated energy vision that aims to position the country as a low carbon energy producer and exporter, and also enabling the green mines in Mauritania. Of course, our main objective is to provide electricity to our population. We still need to have this access to electricity. Our objective is to have universal access to electricity by 2030, which means that we need to maintain a 12% rate of penetration annually to be able to reach this objective by 2030. The gas to power, the gas is a key element in our strategy. We think that the gas to power and creating a domestic market for all the projects we are trying to develop now is important. And we see the mining sector as a key off-taker that can enable this project to happen. So with our national mining company SNIM, the objective is to build a pipeline that can transport the gas from the south of the country to the north, Nouadhibou, where we have mineral ports. And then we can do some transformation on the mining sector and add value. We see, of course, the regional cooperation as very important to achieve all of these objectives.
Yeah.
We may have the time to...
We will have time to discuss about the cooperation, and that's a good point regarding how you will use these opportunities in the gas, and transitioning with the mining sector is something interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Bashir. Let me turn to Mr. Lamine Camara, Permanent Secretary of Gambia. We've heard about Senegal starting producing oil and gas and discoveries in Mauritania. And Gambia energy sector is still developing, but with promising offshore exploration blocks. What are the Gambian government plans for its oil and gas exploration and development?
No, thank you, Mr. Moderator. First of all, I also want to recognize my fellow panelists and the audience to be part of this Africa Energy Week. Yes, as you said, in Gambia, we are part of the MSGBC, and we've seen the developments that were taking place from Mauritania, Senegal, and going on. And we continue to do our oil exploration, and I think the last well that was drilled in the country shows some prospects of presence of hydrocarbons in the country. So our focus is now to continue exploration until we were able to find the oil and gas resources that we believe exist in the country. And what we did now is to change our strategy, where we are doing direct negotiations to look at players that we work with, so that they're able to explore the resources we have in the country. Okay, the oil and gas resources we are still exploring. We're looking at the benefits we can accrue from that could be utilized as part of the just energy transition to support the development of our energy sector. And in doing so, we have also started investing in renewable energy. I think just last year, we inaugurated a first utility scale renewable energy plant, 23 megawatt. We are expanding that to 50 megawatt, this year. And we've already rolled out also a tender of another 50 megawatt towards having about 200 megawatt of solar energy. And this is incumbent upon exporting energy to other countries within the ECOWAS region. But in doing so, we think gas is very important in our pursuit of our clean energy objectives. And we're looking forward to see how we benefit from the gas from Senegal and Mauritania for local uses, because in as much as you promote renewable energy, you will require a base load, and the base load gas will be very useful to provide that base load for us as we expand our energy resource. So I came from the Ministry of Petroleum, Energy and Mines, and the reason we have those three sectors all aligned because they're so much interrelated, and we know mining contributes to the drive of energy, but at the same time, they use a lot of energy. So we need to be able to produce this energy within the continent in order to exploit the resources we have. We are also participating in some of the regional programs. As I said, the 200 megawatt we are looking at is to sell in the regional market in ECOWAS, which was established in 2018 by ECOWAS member states. And we are also participating in the gas pipeline, which last week the ministers approved in Nigeria. All is to help us transport our energy resources for the use of our people. As we all know, about 600 million Africans without access to energy. So in the Gambia, access to energy is of paramount importance, and our target is to have universal access by end of 2025. We've just about to conclude electrifying 700 communities, and our second round is about 600 communities to be able to reach that universal access, which is also ongoing, and hopefully by end of 2025 we'll be able to achieve that. That's a target that was set by the government. We're part of the OMV for the energy in export. We want to say the infrastructure is there, which will connect to OMVS and CLSG, so that ECOWAS would have an energy network under the WAP to be able to transport our energy across. So these are the strategies we've explored. We are working on as a government.
Great. Thank you very much. And what I heard about your point is collaboration and cooperation is really important to develop the energy sector around MSGBC. And let me turn to Dr. Lassine Conde, Director General of SONAP. Could you share with us the SONAP's primary goals in terms of production and investment over the next 5 years, and how Guinea-Conakry plan to position itself within the MSGBC energy landscape?
Thank you very much for the question. As you well said, Guinea, the difference between us and Senegal and Mauritania that are exploiting now, we are exploring. And one of the critical things we would like to highlight today is for people to know that this is the momentum to be investing in the petroleum sector in Guinea. Why? Because first, our geographical position in the MSGBC is optimal. And if you invest in Guinea, you can leverage the investment you will be doing to the other countries. If you have investment in Senegal and you want to connect to Liberia, you pass through Guinea. If you have investment in Côte d'Ivoire, you want to connect with Guinea-Bissau, you pass through Guinea. So this geographical position give leverage for people that wanted to invest in the sub-region, in the Gulf of Guinea. And that is a good opportunity that we would like to highlight, first of all. Secondly, we are in Guinea now what we call Simandou project. You all have heard about it. It's a 20 billion of US dollar investment. Mining project, green iron project that will cut down the carbon content of the steels that are selling and reduce the environmental impact of the steel production. And for this biggest project, there is need of oil and energy. Investing in Guinea now is an opportunity to be ready for this project that is ongoing now, because the first production of the Simandu project are expected in December 2025. So being invested now is to make ready that the infrastructures are there for the supply of that. But as we are talking about the production of oil, and now we are at the exploration phase. And at that exploration phase, we have been focusing on the offshore. And that area is still available. And there is seismic data from Guinea for something like 4,600 kilometers square. How do you call it? The dimension
3D, TD?
Well, how would like to say? They don't need 2D.
2D
2D.
dimension.
And we also have the 3Ds over 1,005 square data on the offshore. But one other things we would like to emphasize on is the onshore. You have something like 227 kilometers square of onshore underexplored. And that can contain a lot of opportunity of investment for oil and gas. That the critical parts we wanted to highlight during this meeting.
Thank you very much, Director. That means that you have a lot of opportunities of free blocks, open blocks, offshore and onshore, with a lot of potential. Thank you. And I think investors here are here to be ready to come and discuss with you after this this panel session. Mr. Cherno Seidouli, you the CEO of Petrosen E&P. We've seen Sangoma starting the first oil with Woodside, and we have seen GTA also starting very soon. We hope so. Where do we stand with Yakaar-Teranga? This was my first point. And also, could you share with us the opportunities in Senegal that can motivate investors to come and invest in open blocks, actually, in Senegal?
Thank you, Ibra, for this question. First of all, I would like to thank our panelists, but also Africa Energy Chamber for the organization of this important event in order to promote the oil and gas and energy sector in Africa. In particular, I would like to congratulate the chairman of Africa Energy Chamber, Ndiaye. Coming back to your question, I think we were facing a lot of challenges during the last 4 or 5 years in order to develop Sangoma and GTA. I think with the pragmatism and the professionalism and the commitment of Woodside, who is the operator of Sangomar, we deliver this project. And we started the production since June, and now we have already reached the plateau of 100,000 barrels per day. And we are facing now new challenges during this operation phase. Regarding Yakaar-Teranga, which is a gas field with a huge quantity of gas, more than 25 TCF. Our partner, Cosmos, we are working on it with a concept. Now we have a viable concept of development with production of LNG, about 3 MTPA, and also to supply the domestic market with 150 MMscf, and this will help to secure the energy supply for Senegal, for example, to implement the strategy gas to power, but also to develop other applications like fertilizer plants or urea, like Papa Samba said previously. For this project, we are now in finalizing this concept, and we are looking for a third party, another partner to join us before the end of this year. We hope that we will find this good partner that will come with added value for this project. And we are now promoting this project with Cosmos, and we hope that by end of this year we will have this third party will join us, and the objective is to take FID by next year and start production in the coming years, like 2028, 2029. And I think this project is very important for Senegal, as I said, because this will help to accelerate the industrialization of the economy, but also to have enough energy to develop the other sectors. But also this project will generate revenues with this LNG that we plan to do it. As I said, this project is very important, and the government of Senegal and Petrosen and Cosmos are all committed to deliver this project. That's why today the message that I would like to pass is we have this project which is technically robust and economically viable, and investors or companies who like to join us, they are more than welcome. And in order to deliver this project, as I said, FID next year, and first gas by 2028, 2029.
Great. Thank you very much with this update regarding
maybe the second question regarding
the open blocks.
block.
Yeah, I would like.
I think in parallel of developing all these oil and gas resources that has been already discovered, we continue the exploration, because we need to maintain these resources and increase the reserves in Senegal. We have more than 20 open blocks in Senegal. Some of them we have already a lot of data available, 2D seismic, 3D seismic. Some of the blocks we have already some wells that has been already drilled and discoveries made. And we will give more details during the technical session tomorrow at our stand And for those blocks also, we are looking for partners. We are looking for companies to join us in this journey.
So please join Mr. Seidouli and all the Senegal delegates at the technical session if you want to know further regarding the other open blocks. So, Mr. Anthony Barker, you the Executive Vice President Commercial of Gola Energy, and Gola is a key player in the FLNG space. How Gola is ensuring that the FLNG solutions are adaptable to the MSGBC specific demands and challenges, and what innovation are you bringing in the table?
Thank you for that question. Gola started its GTA journey some 10 years ago in 2015. And at that time, FLNG, floating liquefaction technology, to those less familiar, was a relatively novel concept. Over the time, it's come of age, and there are now a number of implementations of the technology operating in the market. And as we've heard from a number of contributors, we're in the startup phase of the GTA project. Gola is a service provider. We are not a contracting EPC contractor, and therefore we offer a service on a fully financed basis. So that's a key thing we bring to the table, which is to take a capital-intensive product and provide it monetized over the duration of the resource. But probably the first thing to say about the utilization and employment of FLNG technology, I think at the outset it was seen as perhaps a route to monetize stranded gas reserves, i.e. the level of reserves that wouldn't support a more traditional land-based approach to the technology. Over the years, it's become apparent that we're able to scale the performance of a large-scale LNG plant to a relatively small process, 3 million tons, 2 million tons, yet preserve the capital efficiency, but more importantly these days, the operating efficiency and the associated carbon footprint. So our first thing to say is that it's scalable, and it therefore enables access to export markets for levels of reserve that can be as low as 1 TCF. So alongside the technology, there's a commercial flexibility that operates in parallel. And I think we will be demonstrating that through the redeployment of one of our facilities that is currently located in Cameroon. It will fulfill its contractual obligations in 2016, and then it will be redeployed to open up a new play in Argentina. And I think that's quite exciting for the industry, because it demonstrates that not only can we reach down to a level of resource which is relatively modest in the LNG world, but also a tenor of contract, for example, 8 to 10 years, becomes viable, providing a company such as ourselves is prepared to take the redeployment risk. So I think there is a technology available to the basin, which befits both the large-scale projects and the small startups, and also a commercial flexibility that we bring along with that. So I think those two things married together mean that the likelihood of a commercially viable discovery is opened up compared to if we looked at the same region perhaps 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anthony. Very insightful. Dominic Gadel, we have heard what Gola is showing in the table in terms of innovation, in terms of expediting gas monetization and export. You, the Vice President, early engagement at Technip Energies, and we know that Technip has been involved in large-scale energy projects globally. How do you see the potential for expanding gas and low-carbon energy projects in the MSGBC region? And what technical innovation could accelerate the development of the energy sector in the MSGBC basin?
Thank you very much, Ibra, for your question. Well, thanks for the organization to invite me to this panel with this estimated panelists and colleagues. Very keen to be there. Well, indeed, Technip Energies has been active in the energy business for more than 60 years now, and embarking on the LNG journey for these 60 years. We started in 64 with some LNG plant in Algeria. And since that, in fact, we have been working from, and I'm focusing on LNG more than on gas, on projects ranging from small scale, 0.4, 0.5 MTPA, up to very large scale project, as you mentioned, Ibra, 8 MTPA in Qatar, with different approach, stick built, modularized, hybrid, onshore, offshore. And this is to say, in fact, that there is no a single solution when we are seeing, let's say, the MSGBC region. Because when we are, well, just referring to what was said previously, so Yakaar-Teranga, 20 plus TCF reserves, Birala, 80 TCF, GTA phase 2, all of them might not have the same development because, and the same, let's say, solution. There is not a given solution. There is a fit for purpose solution for each of these developments to reach, well, I will use client or customer terms, which is maybe not the right one, but expectations, meaning all the constraints are not the same. There is obviously the time to market, there is a local content, there is capital expenditure, the revenues or NPVs of the project, all that has to be taken into consideration. And so as Golar, we are a service provider, a little bit different because as Tony explained, Golar is more on a financial service provider. We are on a technical service provider, meaning that our aim is really to have this development fitting the field development expectation, including the overall master planning that has been mentioned previously. We are not here to sell one project. We are here to support the best development for each and every kind of project in the region. In terms of the second part of your question was related to technology, and that's also something that we are now embedding in our development, meaning that since the last decades, technology has evolved because now it's a given for everyone that LNG is a transition fuel for the future, or gas is a transition fuel, thanks to its low carbon emission while utilizing it, comparing to oil or coal. We got a reduction of 50% of CO2 emissions. However, in terms of LNG processing, there are CO2 emissions, and 75% of the CO2 emissions in the gas processing are from the LNG plant. And so our technological focus now is to reduce these emissions while liquefying the gas. And here we are focusing on two main directional aspects. First one is electrification. Electrification, we have some ongoing projects in Middle East, in UAE or in Oman, where those plants will be fully electrified, fed with low carbon energies. And if that works in Middle East, this will work in West Africa. It means so that's one of our focus, providing a solution which is fully electrified. And the other one is linked to the native CO2, so the CO2 which is part of the field, a part of the feed gas which is arriving to the liquefaction plant. We also now are promoting or providing carbon capture solution on this native solution. After, obviously, there is a question of how to deal with this CO2, so maybe all facilities cannot be fitted with these carbon capture solutions. But that's the main, let's say, direction that we are taking in terms of technology, electrification, carbon capture, and also we all see that there will be a glimpse in terms of LNG in 2030. So there is an interest of a time to market which is shortened compared to the previous project. And then we are working on developing standardized solution, almost from the shelf, meaning that we are keen to reduce the overall project duration from 1 to 2 years compared to conventional solutions which were developed in the past.
And all those experience you had in other scales are used, I mean, in the MSGBC project also. That's good things you have shared. And I will come back with you on that point regarding the innovation. We noticed that you have focused on several aspects, helping these projects to develop the capacity in terms of producing electricity, and also how to reduce the emission of carbon. That's a good thing, and we get it. Let me just turn to Mr. Sidi Ahmed Abedina, CEO of Sogeco SA AGL Group. AGL is a regional business leader in the logistics aspect, and I would like you to share the role companies like AGL are doing, driving investment and developing local content in the MSGBC region and the oil and gas sector.
Thank you. Thank you, Ibra. Thank you, colleagues around this panel. The exercise was taken from the beginning with the project GTA with BP and Cosmos and the government of Mauritania, and of course the government of Senegal, to try to put focus on the local content and how we can bring this new project to reality. As you know, every dollar has to bring some return in investment for our sponsors like BP, Cosmos, and other companies. And our role is to make it easier for either the government, the two governments, but also the operators. We choose to be really um, going in a new, I can say, dimension of creating a new mindset in the business, but also being a facilitator. We play the role to help the local content to be a leading company locally, to help local companies to upgrade their services and to be able to bring their services to the international, I can say, standards, and also to be ready to escort this big project. This is how we did it. AGL Group is investing around 500 million euros every year in every country, in 45 countries, operating for 45 countries, in the railroad, ports project, port facilitation for oil and gas yards, and airline facility cargo, railway, and also transport around the region, talking about corridors also. This is our main, I can say, focus and role to bring a cost to a normal one, and also ensure that the final service will be at the high standards required by our sponsors.
Thank you very much. And let me come back in one general question. I've heard a lot about cooperation, a lot about collaboration between countries. We have seen the GTA project developed jointly by Mauritania, Mauritania and Senegal. I would like you to share your experience, your view regarding this joint operated field, in what ways the country in the MSGBC region could improve cooperation to develop more integrated and resilient energy sector. And then I will let you start, Papa Samba. And it's an open question. If you want to add any view, feel free to take the floor.
Thank you, Ibra. I think we have a lot to say in this area of cooperation. And as I said, 10 years ago, the MSGBC region was quite, how to say, new province in terms of oil and gas, world-class projects to develop. But right now, we are up to count to the second project going in operation at the world-class level in the MSGBC. And this is a result of definitely a great sense of cooperation. Cooperation between the countries and the partner, the private partner, but definitely the bilateral and the multilateral cooperation between the different countries. That is a must. We could not achieve such a, I think, a result without very close and very, how to say, dynamic cooperation in all sense that you can imagine, be it in terms of how say agreeing in a way to develop the resources in a common way, to build all needed framework in terms of regulatory, in terms of team operational aspect, also in terms of fiscal aspect, a lot of harmonization, really mechanism to set to put in place. And the same goes also when it comes to develop the infrastructure. With these resources, we are talking about industrialization. We are talking about also building synergies with other resources. So that means other world-class project, really a long backlog. And we cannot go through all this journey without having really good partner and trustful partner on which we can count when it comes to go to this effort.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Go
on
ahead.
the
Go ahead,
test
and I will
bed,
come with Bishi because I think
I
Bishi in the
apologize.
Mauritanian side
I
will have
apologize.
some
But
interesting. Yeah.
but it provoked a thought that the cross-border nature of the GTA project actually provided a very positive dividend when Golar was seeking its project finance for the facility, in the sense that traditionally on capital-intensive projects, political risk is low during the investment phase. And then you have 20 years of operations, of which the banks take a view regarding the level of political risk. Having two governments cooperating on the single project meant that there were additional checks and balances in place, which enabled us to get a more efficient financing and in fact secure the first commercial project finance of an FLNG project. So a very practical, perhaps unforeseen dividend of that cross-border project came out in our financing.
Thank you for sharing your experience. Bishi, do you want to add something before we move on to the next question?
Thank you, Ibra. My friend Papa Samba, I think, elaborated well on that. I will just give some points with regard to this project. This is not the only project of cooperation between Mauritania and Senegal and in the region. We have another big project, which is the OMVS, which is the Organization for the Exploitation of the Senegal River, to also share a very strategic resources, which is the water. And this is a good example. And I think GTA was another example of that. The discovery was made by Cosmos in 2015, and we sanctioned the project 3 years later. So I think this is a record in LNG project and also a record in shared resources. Of course, we started this project before all these new transition, period. And I think the collaboration now has to be stronger, and we need to enforce these regional collaboration to allow this kind of project to happen, especially with regard to the LNG and gas. And I think also the local market, when we are talking about local market, it's not really local, it's regional and continental. And we are now looking with our partners, the Senegal state and Mauritania state, as well as the other partners, to build on the spare capacity of phase 1 of GTA and to have more production that can also be routed to the domestic market, which is a good example of integration also.
Yeah, interesting. Yes, Bishi,
I just want to jump on this question. I think outside the collaboration from G to G, government to government, I would like to emphasize and reinforce the collaboration between the national oil companies, because they are, I think, big players on this collaboration. Instead of being in competition, I think we have to put together our efforts. I think we have a lot of things to learn from SONAP, from Guinea, from GNPC in Gambia, or from SMH in Mauritania. And I think by collaborating with as a national oil company, we think that we can promote more this MSGBC basin. And I think we are in the good way, because we have a lot of MOUs and protocols signed between those national oil companies, and I think they are good players on promoting this MSGBC basin.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think this mindset in terms of collaboration is something really embedded in the MSGBC basin. I think you mentioned the projects in terms of collaboration in other areas. I know Gambia also mentioned it during his presentation, but looking ahead, what do you see as the most promising investment opportunities in the MSGBC sector? And I would give you the floor to start with that question. What do you see in terms of opportunities in the coming years for the MSGBC region you would like to share to the investors?
Well, thank you very much for discussion. I mean, definitely as refineries, road material transport, export is something that cannot be the future of the continent. We need to transform locally. If that is the case, it means we have to have on the floor possibility of affordable energy to transform locally. So looking forward, affordable energy still the things the director was talking about now, the G and gas natural liquefier, I don't know how to, NLG. The NLG is something definitely that is a good opportunity of investment now, because it will allow people right now to be able to transform locally the road material they use to export and generate decent work for our youth. This is something critical for us now. But still, the fossil, the other fossil opportunities are there. Guinea, talking about Guinea now, we have something more than 22 blocks, free blocks we can discuss with people for revenue sharing perspective and developing exploration for us to go further in our exploration. This is another opportunity of investment we may have. And also talking about cooperation, right now ECOWAS has this gazoduc project that are connecting countries from Nigeria to Morocco. In that perspective, any investment in the gas allowing to have products to be injected in the roads, export road that have been created, that will be a good investment also for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And I would ask you a question, Dominic, regarding all these opportunities. In your view, what is required to fast track all these new oil and gas projects and investment opportunities? And I will ask you to give your point, and also City, as investors, as private company, what do we need in the MSGBC region to fast track those huge opportunities?
Well, in fact, it's a balance, because there is this fast track approach, and I will come back on it to give my view on what gives or what allows for a fast track. But as of today, a fast track is usually linked to fabrication of a project. So, and there is the local content that was mentioned. Should we go in an ideal world for fast track project in the MSGC basin, sorry, it's a twofold things. It's first, bring people at the level they can produce or work on the project locally, have the supply of the material locally, and then go for standardized solution. Because today, when we want to have something which is fastly executed, well, we are developing, let's say, local market. We have partnership, well, I'm speaking on behalf of Technip, we have partnership with some universities to bring engineers at level for energy world or for energy works. And it means we need to mix everything. We need to mix the local content, and we need to mix the fast delivery, and we need to mix the standardization of the solution.
Okay, thank you. Sidi, do you want to add something regarding how to fast track, how to make those projects grow?
Thank you. Thank you. To fast track, sometimes it's very difficult from our area to say that we can hold major projects in the region. But I can say also there is a regional fast track. For a GTA project, we're having few people from Senegal working in Mauritania, and I think from Mauritania we have a couple of people working in Senegal because of the lack of having sometimes local support. The regional support is very important. And also there is investment, as you know, investment in education, and also I can say training for our people in every country. It's very important, and also investment. We need to be ready for the hotspot in Africa now in the coming 30 years, that all the region will be very active in renewable energy, but also in gas, oil, and certain countries. And all these activities, we need to host everything locally, and most of it. And training people, it's very, very important. We can supply people from around the world, but still we need to help the locals also to be at the top, to be ready to hold this kind of business.
Training important to develop the local content. But let me ask the last question to Lamin. Also in this fast track way, you know, Gambia, you mentioned all the renewable energy projects you have, but regarding your open blocks and all the exploration projects you have, uh, what can you say, or what could you say to all investors here to attract them to come, and what could help to fast track Gambia develop its potential in the oil and gas sector?
Thank you. Just as I said at the beginning, that this is why we explore direct negotiation, so that to cut the red tape about tender, doing licensing rounds, that we want a quick way of agreeing and taking the project to start as soon as possible. We have 5 open blocks that is in offshore, and we already also have 2 alternative blocks. We've just them ready to also license to interested investors. The onshore, which is also being given to GNPC, we are also looking how they partner with, have partners to work on exploiting the resources onshore. If anybody's interested, you can contact GNPC. I have them with me here, and also have the Petroleum Commission. They are with us here that handle the licensing of the oil block. What I could say is that in the Gambia, there is regulatory certainty. The laws are very clear and simplified, and then the investment policies are very investor friendly. And we have a strategy where we all work together as a government, as a one-stop shop, you know, and where the ministry and the commission would help you to overcome any other challenges or support you would require as an investor to do your work. And we've been doing this, and even the collaboration you mentioned earlier, we've been collaborating with the likes of Senegal and Mauritania, like even data collection. We've been collaborating in data because geology has no borders. And the way Gambia is in Senegal, it's very difficult to collect data without going even into Senegal.
Exactly.
So that collaboration has been there between Petrosen, GNPC, the Commission, and the 2 governments. And I think MSGBC platform is a good place for collaboration. I think that initiative is a good place for collaboration. And the good thing is that we have things that have been started by Senegal and Mauritania. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, so I think these are all ways of fast tracking, action in the MSGBC area. It's already tested.
Thank you very much, Lamin. I think we have 3 minutes to go, and I would conclude to say today's discussion has highlighted the diverse trends, opportunities, and forward-looking policies that make the MSGBC region one of the focal points for the global energy investment. And moving forward, fostering more collaborative and innovation-driven partnership will be essential for maximizing the region potential. And I think together we can position MSGBC not only as an energy powerhouse, but also as a model of sustainable, inclusive growth for Africa and beyond, regarding all collaborative and cooperation example you have shown today. And I would ask, if you want to continue the debate, we have all heard about all these opportunities. I will be delighted to invite you to a Taste of Africa exclusive culinary experience jointly organized by Forvis, Mazars, and CLG tomorrow, Wednesday, at Utopia Restaurant, 6 p.m. And Utopia is one of the, or I would say, the only recognized Africa's best rooftop restaurant. So you will be, our guest, and we'll be happy to invite you. Thank you all panelists for your insight, and thank you the audience for attending this session. Please give warm applause to all the panelists and today's discussion. Thank you very much.